Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 4th of November, and well, the shift has started to begin here. We've had this fall off of magenta under yellow here on the NBI reading and below the 33, which for us is usually an indication that things have gone weaker now. It was enough to support based on where we were with a positive shakeout, but that has degraded, and I warned about this, that once you flip to a negative from there, then you've started a whole new run to the south side of situation. And you can see that that's already begun. You already broke the support because it's below the 25 at this stage, and now you have MBI white over the 8 level, which once it gets above 10, then you have a stronger short situation. So, yeah, that's we got it. And this government shutdown is starting to have quantitative effect, and it's starting to really impact things. We would expect that even the 76 here for the NASDAQ will break given where we're seeing the situation. And you can see the strong reversal on the DOC. That's a clear indication. And the stronger that kind of separation is, the clearer that trend is going to be. May send the NASDAQ into a negative shakeout, in which case then you can see where the S&P is leading that decay already. And it's just an indication that there's no resolution in the near term. I think that probably some New Yorkers trading are worried about the election today for mayor, what that means for New York City. But it's those little things that can sometimes have an impact on the way people perceive things. But you can see even from a Treasury standpoint, looking to go the opposite direction. So is the Fed going to have to get more into easing? Since they've been on the sidelines, and impossible that they may have to do that because they've been asleep for quite some time here, all anticipating an inflation that never came. And now, you've got situation here where that label, that we could see the deterioration in certain areas, and that was that mismatch. And it makes it much harder when you have those regional variations. But it's been a slow decline from that standpoint. And it doesn't change the fact that, potentially for next year things are moving in the right direction, but it depends on how bad things get before then. So it becomes a relative. And then oil still elevated, but right at the baseline, so it's not contributing to anything. And that's the biggest problem I've seen overall. You needed energy costs to move lower to stave off what's actually taking place now, and something I've been talking about, and it just hasn't happened. And these are the effects of it. And of course, that is not a bonus for the euro. In fact, the euro is way elevated from where it should have been anyway. And, things are deteriorating faster. And they've really kind of ignored it for quite a while. Even during this upswing, we could see how Germany was collapsing quite quickly. The same with France and the political problems they were having. And so this is not a surprise, at least relative to the dollar, despite the fact they claim that the U.S. is going to collapse or whatever. As I warned, the euro would go before then. Much quicker. So from a gold standpoint, that's holding on at this particular stage, not so much for crypto because they've been in a real strong negative here with MBI white leading throughout. Finally have a decay in the MBI white, but you still have no support from buyers coming back in. So it's a pretty strong reversal, and not even a reset from the DOC steel, though this is not horrible. It's just you're caught in the middle with that orange between cyan and green is always a continuation, and in this case the move is to the south, so it's a continuation to the south. So you're breaking out below the lows from the previous one at this particular stage. And we had this 100k mark here from a positive extreme from way back over, and there wasn't any question we expected it to fill. So it's just waiting for the signals to match. And ETH likewise decaying even further, and it's a much stronger decay even from ETH, and that's just because it had a relatively stronger move before. So it all evens out in the end, mean reversion. And from a 50k standpoint, we started off with the MBI white that was leading here, but magenta held up long enough. But once that began to fade, boom, you ended up with MBI white lead. Zero is revisited, and then they had a little bit of a strong short cover rally within that, but MBI lead took again, and you really barely crossed the 33 once it dipped back below. Then it was just a matter of once that crossed over underneath yellow and below the 25, you were expecting zero. I mean, didn't just get zero, you got zero plus now because MBI white has still led. So these are all very consistent to the readings, and Volatility wise, I would say it's still up there. We haven't really faded off as much, and that's really a reflection of this situation with the shutdown now starting to really have an impact, because it's going to make a big difference when people can't spend for SNAP, groceries, things like that. There wasn't enough money even in the emergency fund that Trump agreed with the judges to go ahead and fund to cover it. So that's going to start to ripple, and you don't recover from that, because even if you start up again, you're already behind. So there's just no advantage to saving that one. You can see from a 5-minute chart here in the post market, it has been nothing but people running for the exits. And, it's not a surprise. You saw, over the last buildup of time here that, Berkshire and them have been selling a lot of their stuff, getting into cash, and not wrong. It's just one of those setups. And so you can see from a 5-minute chart here, the early part of the day was down. So you had your put strong, then they cover called them. And, those that were short hands that couldn't hold on, they're going to be disappointed when they wake up in the morning. And those who bought the call going to the upside are going to be like, well, that was a waste. So that's the long and the short of it for now. And, the readings are just spot on with this. So we're in good shape with that. As always, anything relevant, I will put it on our team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.